Cool. Welcome in, Mum. How you doing today, bro?
Not doing too bad, brother. Just keeping myself busy.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I believe Michael should have sent you over. Well, hopefully Michael didn't keep you too bored in the DMs.
Yeah, we're all good.
Good stuff. Well, he should have sent you over some videos and resources to go through. Did you go through those?
Yeah, I went through those.
Good. Did you find any of those helpful?
Yeah, it was a bit helpful. It shed a bit of light on what you guys do. Just curious to hear more, get into the cost and all that stuff.
Of course. How did you find any of those helpful to you specifically? Out of curiosity.
Obviously I'm going to start my e-com store. So I see you guys use some pretty interesting methods on running Facebook ads. So really kind of curious to see how it works and I guess how much time it would take for me to get up and running. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how these calls usually go is I find out where you are, where it is exactly you want to go in terms of your e-commerce. If you're a good fit for us, we're a good fit for you, and we can actually work together. And if we are a good fit, I'm going to run you through exactly how we're going to get you to where you want to go in terms of your e-commerce. If not, at least you'll leave here with some value. Sound good?
Sounds good, brother.
Fantastic. So in terms of your e-commerce, what are you looking to achieve specifically with us?
Trying to get e-com up and running. So I would just like to kind of get a sort of a roadmap to get there and start doing e-com full time. It's kind of what I'm looking for.
Okay, to start doing it full time. So you're not in the e-commerce yet.
Yeah, work. I work 9 to 5, and I'm trying
Hmm.
to get e-com to work there.
Okay, so when you say you're trying to do you're not trying to get e-com to work. Are you in the process now where you're researching it, or have you actually got your own e-commerce store?
Well, I've actually got an e-commerce, so I'm selling stuff on it. Not making too much, like $500 a month.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's just time, because I am spending a lot of time at work. I work warehouse and construction. So
Hmm.
basically a lot
Right.
of time, 12, 13 hours a day.
Yeah.
So there's a lack of time just causing me. I know when I come from work, I'm tired and stuff. Because that's what's kind of stopping me from putting all the energy into making this work and really grow with this.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. In terms of your e-commerce store, you said it's making $500 right now per month. So where would you like to see that? Where's your ideal goal in terms of the monthly income?
To start things off, at least $5,000, because that's how much I'm making from construction. So
Okay.
I'd like to get there as soon as possible.
Okay. So that's your first hurdle, so that it can actually fully replace your 9 to 5.
Correct.
Okay. After that, if you have to choose, okay, this is where I'd be happy with my e-commerce store. What would you be looking at then?
$10,000, I would say, in the first year or so. After I got 5K, 10K is a good number. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you said you're doing your construction. It's construction and a warehouse job.
Yeah. So basically, it's two at once. Same job.
Mm.
I work in the warehouse and also I'm helping construct another warehouse. It's basically warehouse construction. You can say
Yeah.
that.
Okay. And how many hours a week are you working there?
Hmm. So I'm working at least 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, mostly 6 days. Take like a day off. That's where I work on the store. So 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. So it's pretty hectic.
That's that's a lot of hours. That's about 72 hours a week.
Hmm.
Okay. And you said altogether that's earning you about 4.5k a month.
Yeah, around $5,000 a month. Yeah.
Yeah, $5,000. Okay. And what exactly is making you want to switch from your current 9 to 5 to e-commerce?
I mean, obviously, I'm working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. That's the main reason. I want to keep doing this.
Why not? I'm sure you know there's warehouse workers that are happy to stay in that warehouse job. So why exactly do you want to switch out?
I mean, it's it's hard physical labor in it. So would rather not do it. It doesn't pay well. 5K can barely live on it, and it doesn't have the scale that I want to. I mean, I don't mind working hard, but there's just not enough scale in this.
Okay. What do you mean by scale? What are you looking for in terms of scale?
Scale is in e-com. You can scale it up to say $1 million per month. I know that's a huge goal, but in warehouse, even if you work 100 hours a week, you
Mhm.
get paid by the hour. Yeah,
Right. So, am I right in hearing that you don't want to be clocking in and clocking out? You'd rather be paid based on value that you can offer?
correct. And also, I'd like to stop working physical labor, and it does take a toll.
Yeah. Okay. How long have you wanted to switch over to e-commerce full time?
Couple of months now. I mean, I've been working for 2 years
Yeah.
at this warehouse job, and I've been looking at options recently because obviously I'm getting sick and tired of it. It was good money when I first started out, right out of community college, but I just don't see a future in this.
Okay. When you said it's good money when you first started out, what's actually changed now in that 2 years?
And obviously, I'm an adult now. I still live with my parents. Moved
Mm.
out and stuff, bills, bills racking up, and typical 9 to 5. And I was living with my parents. It was cool, I guess, getting 5Ks, spending 5K, drinking with
Yeah.
mates. But now that I'm out, I'm renting an apartment, potentially even looking to marry soon. Now it's looking, 5K is not much, and it's not worth working 12-hour days.
Yeah. I understand. Would you say you have been looking at e-commerce the last 2 years?
Not last 2 years. I mean, I've moved out of my parents' house quite recently. I'd say
Mhm.
4 months ago.
Yeah.
And the first month it was like, okay, this is a bit difficult. And then the second month I was like, fuck it, I need to find something else.
Okay. So last 2 months.
Yeah, you could say last 2 months.
Last
Yeah.
2 months. Okay. What have you done in those last 2 months to get your e-commerce store to 5K a month?
Um, I've tried running ads and obviously spending my money. And through running ads, I'm making profit of around $500 per month. Now it's month two, and I'm doing like $500 per month. I
Mm.
start off, didn't make any profit the first month, making $500 the second month. And you know what? I might just look at getting some professional help. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I understand. What exactly do you feel is holding you back from getting from that $500 to 5K a month in e-commerce?
I would say time and knowledge. Obviously, I'm working like 12-hour days, 6 days a week, so
Yeah.
really fucking busy. And I had like one day off, and I try to cram all, add creatives, testing stuff out. I mean, obviously, I can't be on my phone while I'm working construction, like shoveling stuff, carrying stuff. Can't
Yeah.
multitask like if I worked at like I say, office job. So it's really hard there. And when I come home, I'm tired and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. When you say you're busy, what does that actually look like for you? You say you're working 12-hour shifts.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Yeah,
how many
12-hour
hours a day?
shifts.
How many hours a day
12
would you say that you're
shifts,
awake?
16 hours. So I have like around 3 hours free. So I wake up, commute is like 30 minutes
Mhm.
back and forth. So work side is pretty close now. So 15 minutes each way, 30 minutes. So I guess I have 2 hour, 30 minutes. Obviously, I have to eat. I come home, I'm pretty tired as well. So
Okay.
just eat and just go to sleep, bro. There's nothing much I do. I just work, eat, sleep.
Okay. So there's 2.5 hours. Is there a version of you that can make an hour a day out of that 2.5 hours to get into this ecom business?
Potentially, because I'm so drained after physical labor. It's
Hmm.
difficult to focus and actually get some creative work done. Yeah.
I understand. Hypothetically speaking, do you feel like there's a version of you that, even though he is tired, he is drained? still can find that 1 hour a day to set aside so that he can grow his e-commerce store and become financially free, set himself up and set his future family up?
Yeah, I guess there might be a version of me. Yeah.
Okay, when you say there might be a version of you, is there a bit of uncertainty there as to maybe that version of you could exist or couldn't exist?
Yeah, obviously, like you have to take the fact that I'm working 12-hour days. It's very, very tiring physically. So I literally have like zero energy to move about. And obviously, I have chores to do, things to do as well, around the house things. But I reckon I could make like 30 minutes, an hour.
Okay, so in terms of making 30 minutes, because those 30 minutes actually do stack up every single day. We're doing 30 minutes over 6 days. What is that? 3 hours over several months. That does stack up and stack up. Out of curiosity, why have you not been doing the 30 minutes each day?
It'll be very, very difficult, man. Like super tired. And I just wanna eat something and get to sleep. That's all. It's gonna take a lot of effort. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's why I just cram everything into like Saturday or Sunday when I get off day.
Yeah. Okay. I understand what you're saying. I want to make sure that I'm hearing it correctly. You've said that you've got 2.5 hours spare before you go to sleep, and you use the 2.5 hours to eat and do whatever.
Hmm.
I don't understand why you're not able to make the 30 minutes. You just said that you want to sleep. This doesn't go into the 2.5 hours. So I'm trying to see how you're making things work here.
I mean, obviously, I come home, I take a shower, I eat. That's like 30 to 45 minutes. I then work out sometimes. Sometimes,
Yeah.
most times, just working is actually a workout for me. So I guess I have
Mhm.
like 30 minutes max. So I gotta do like admin work, all that stuff. Fill in the notes, check on the store. But I don't really have time to actually put my energy into store and really think. I do check on the ads. I do see how it's performing. Maybe change some things up, but not really groundbreaking work. I guess I spend like 15 minutes a day per day. Not really, That's not super focused. I think that's
Okay.
how I mean.
Do you feel like if you did make 30 minutes a day, do you feel like that's actually something that you can do in the first place?
At the moment, it's gonna be hard, but I could try doing, yeah,
Yeah.
for a short amount of time, yeah.
Yeah. Bro, it's always going to be hard. That's why hardly anyone does it. Not everybody aims for financial freedom. That's why it's hard. But you did say that you could do it.
Mm, yeah, could do it.
Okay. Looking at that, you said you've been operating for the last 2 months from a place of you could make 30 minutes a day, but you haven't. So if we're looking at your e-commerce store, what progress have you missed out on by not doing that?
Mm. I guess I could have made more iterations on ads, stuff like that. Could have done more product research. But again, you gotta keep in mind, man, like super hard. Have you worked in construction before?
I have a father who's worked there before.
Mm. It's hard, man. It's 12 hours, long hours. We still make like 15 minutes ish. I go through ads and stuff, which I could actually try. It's a valid point. Could try. Maybe hype up with some coffee. You know, Could work.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I'm not asking you to do 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day. I'm simply asking if you can make 30 minutes, which you said you can.
Yeah, I reckon I could. Yeah.
Okay. If we look ahead 3 years from now, what's your situation going to look like if you're still doing what you've been doing for the last 2 months, making 15 minutes a day, half focused, just checking on ads? Where's that going to put you?
I might get rid of 5K per month because I progress pretty fast. I mean, I've gotten $500 per month in like 2 months, but definitely wouldn't be fast. I wouldn't be focused as much as I would like it to be. Yeah.
Right. So when you say you'd get out of the 5K,
Mhm.
but it wouldn't be as fast as you want.
Yeah.
What do you really mean by that?
I mean, obviously, 15 minutes a day. I don't really got any structure or anything like that. Just following a couple of guys on YouTube, and I guess it works. But I guess if I had some kind of personalized advice, I'd move faster. And obviously, if I spend more time, that would help as well. I think I just need a bit of direction more so.
Direction. Okay, I understand. If we're being transparent with ourselves here, do you feel like you actually can break the 5K mark by just putting in 15 minutes a day?
I reckon I could, but if I had the direction, I could. Because I'm pretty efficient with my time.
Right.
Because obviously, yeah. But I guess I could try putting 30 minutes in. But obviously, I think quality or quantity. So how much work you get done. If I had like a Discord channel or something like that where I pop notes in, maybe it could work. I have a few friends who kind of does that. They are in e-com mentorship. They do something similar. So I guess that's something like how this would work, or do I need to spend like 30 minutes per day religiously?
I mean, you tell me which version of you is going to make more progress, the one that puts in 15 minutes a day or the one that puts in 30 minutes a day?
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one. I guess 30 minutes, but then again, quality or quantity, yeah. So the quality of 50, if I'm spending quality 15 minutes rather than half-ass 30 minutes. But yeah, I get your point, bro. I get your point. I'll try doing that.
It's up to you. You could choose to put in a top quality 30 minutes. What kind of progress would you make if you did that?
That definitely 2x my progress.
So which one would you rather do?
I would rather do 30 minutes, and if it's feasible, if it's sustainable, yeah, I could just keep doing it for a couple of months and yeah, see where it takes me.
Okay. And why would you do that one? Where you do 30 minutes of high quality work with the right guidance?
I mean, obviously, I'm looking for the right guidance, but timing wise, it's gonna be a bit tough. I'll try making that. I'll see if it's sustainable energy wise. Cause look, I'm super fucking drained. Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah. That's always going to come up in this building stage where you feel drained because of your 9 to 5 work. But that's the reason that you're doing this, is to get out of that 9 to 5. So there's going to be no working around that. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Okay. So when it comes to getting out of that 9 to 5, would you also agree that that's a necessary process that you're just going to have to accept in order to get out?
Yeah, I'd have to accept it.
Okay. Quick side note: how long have you got on this call so that I can make sure we both get equal amount of time?
I got like 45 minutes, so you can go like 15, 20. I can go 15, 20. Yeah.
45 minutes from now, or 45 minutes in
No, I
total?
got I got until like an hour from now, so basically it's 15 over here.
Oh, perfect.
I got plenty of time.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Well, in terms of getting to that first 5K, and then you said it was 15K or 10K in terms of your ecom business.
Yeah, 15, 10K. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The 15K. Is it the 15K that you're saying? It sounds a bit ambiguous between the 10 and 15.
I'd definitely love to get a 50K. I just don't know if it's possible so fast, but ideally 15K, obviously, the more the better.
Yeah. We've worked with clients that have made upwards of 15K, higher than that in a short amount of time.
So
Okay. So in terms of the 15K, getting to that point, what would that actually do for you on a day-to-day basis?
obviously, I wouldn't have to worry about rent, bills, and all that stuff. So I could put that on the back burner. I can look at actually saving and making good investments, like real estate, stuff like that. That would, set me up for life. That's what I'm looking to do with the 15K. To go out, spend everything that I've got. So yeah, that will be my main focus. Saving things up, then a good future for myself.
Okay, I understand. When you say you wouldn't be stressed think about the bills and things like that, would you be planning on moving out, or you still be staying where you're living?
Yeah, just stay where I'm living. This place is good.
Yeah.
It's just the bills, because I just moved out, food, rent, everything just adds up, and I'm like penny pinching. I don't like
Hmm.
doing that.
Okay. So not having to worry about your living expenses and the bill and all that. What would that actually mean to you to not have to think about that?
It would take a massive load off me, I wouldn't have to
Mm.
stress such much. That would be the main thing.
Okay. So when you say you wouldn't have to stress as much, am I correct in saying that you'd feel like relieved?
Hmm, that would be accurate.
Relieved. Okay. And you said that you'd want to save some things up going to real estate.
Yeah, it's long-term vision.
Long-term vision. Okay. How does that fit into the e-commerce? Which one is the real long-term vision? Is it the real estate or is it the e-commerce?
I'd say ecom would be the main way to cash flow. So I
Hmm.
want to make my cash through ecom and then invest to real estate. That's the vision I have.
Okay. And when would you want to plan to do that? What would you want to be making in your e-commerce before you started to transition out of there to go into real estate?
Even now, I'm not spending much really out of the profits. I'm just reinvesting it back into the store, taking a little bit. But I would say when I get to like 10K, 15K, I'm obviously gonna have something left over after rent, bills. I'm gonna save like a large amount of that and then save up for my first property. And obviously I'll be investing into the business as well. But say anywhere from 10 to 15K, I'd look at getting into real estate.
Okay. How long have you wanted to do that for?
And well, always has been the way. I mean, when I first started the job, I actually was planning to get into real estate, but then I was just started spending because the guy first needs money, a lot of money, start spending. So then I moved out, and I was like, fuck, time to get back on the track.
Okay, so in terms of years, how long have you actually wanted to eventually transition to
Mm.
real estate?
I mean, when I first started on construction, it was to get more knowledge on real estate and how things work. Now so I'm fairly knowledgeable in terms of building houses, the costs that are involved, the permits that are involved,
Hmm.
good places to get real estate in. So this guy, I would say, kind of an apprenticeship to get into real estate in the future.
Okay, so in terms of years, we'd say it's around 4 years again since you started the
Uh,
work.
2 years.
2 years.
Mm.
2 years. Okay. Okay. And to actually make that happen genuinely, so you built up your e-commerce store. So you built up this financial independence, this 15K, to actually finally go into real estate. What would that actually mean to you?
And obviously, I feel like I'm achieving, I feel like I'm progressing. I think that's just the
Yeah.
most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And what would that actually allow you to do? Because with real estate, you get some more time freedom. So in terms of that time, what would that allow you to do?
I think I'd be able to take my parents to nice places. I mean, we weren't poor when we grew up, but
Mm,
I guess I'd be taking them to new places they haven't been to. That'd be a big thing. And I guess I'd give more time to do things that I enjoy.
yeah, 100%. When you said you were poor when you were growing up, is that a one of the main reasons why you want to make yourself financially free?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't poor, but I was able to get everything I wanted, had a good life. But I would
Mm,
definitely like to let my parents enjoy, that would be a big thing.
of course, I understand. To be able to actually do that for your parents, so for them to enjoy the rest of their lives, be able to see the rest of the world, like, enjoy the experience, to know that you could give them that, how that make you feel?
Pretty good. That make me feel very good.
Absolutely. You did say earlier that you're also looking to start a family, and that's one of the main reasons why you want to make this income, the 15K.
Yeah, potential in the future. I just wanna get myself set up first, and then
Yeah.
introduce any other people, help it stable.
Okay. Well, if we're looking on further on down the line, how much would you want to be making first before you looked to start up a family?
At least 15k, at
The
least
15K.
15k cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the e-commerce business.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually getting to that 15K from the e-commerce business, that's you're saying that you need this first to start a family.
I don't need it, but I would definitely feel much comfortable. Yeah.
Okay. You feel more comfortable. How would that make you feel much more comfortable?
And obviously, more money, you can have more safety. You can have a safety. You don't have to worry about things. You don't have to worry about bills. I mean, babies are expensive. Family is expensive.
Yeah, 100%. And in terms of raising your children, having the 15K there, 15K cash flow, what would that allow you to give them that you can't give them now?
And obviously, materialistic things. And then more so, it's just freedom and time. I'd say my father never spent much time with us. It's because I'd be spending more time with the kids.
Right,
Pick them nice places, put them in good schools. Some of the usual things.
right. Okay. Okay. So for you to be able to do that, to kind of break this generational pattern, so to break that cycle of the father not spending time, for you to do that, to be able to give all the time and love to your children, what would that really mean to you?
Don't mean a lot. I mean, obviously not blaming anyone who worked
Of
hard,
course.
just didn't know the proper ways of making money. I guess,
Mm,
doing this will allow me to do that. Make me feel pretty good, just
yeah,
having
yeah,
able to have that freedom. Work on your own terms.
yeah. 100%. I understand. Well, brother, we've looked at where you want to go. When we look ahead at the version of you 12 months from now, so you're not just making that 5K, you've gone upwards to that 10, 15K, the 15K month. When we look at that version of you who's doing that, you're now you're now financially free. You've now started going into real estate to set yourself up for the rest of your life. And you are ready financially to set yourself up to have a family and to raise your kids and give them your time. You've got the freedom to do that. To know that you've achieved that yourself, what would that moment be worth to you?
Obviously, feel pretty proud of myself.
Mm. When you say you feel pretty proud of yourself, are you trying to downplay that to yourself there? Just to
I
give
mean,
yourself
it's my
a
responsibility, isn't it? Like,
of course.
I've never been that guy to be super excited, but yeah, it will mean something pretty big to me. Yep.
Yeah, completely. I understand. Well, we've looked at where you want to go, but in terms of taking action, people need two things. You need to see where you're going. You also need to see what you're running away from. So, if we're looking ahead in the next 12 months, what does that actually look like if you keep on doing what you've been doing the last 2 months, stuck at $500 a month in terms of your e-commerce store?
Be really inefficient. That's one thing I'd say. Really inefficient. Super slow. Be
Right.
wasting time, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. When you say you're inefficient, wasting time, does that bother you?
Obviously, I don't have much time as it is now. Working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. So like every hour is very, very important to me. And I'd like to be as efficient as I can be with my time.
Okay, 100%. So, but knowing that there's a version of you out there that has put in 30 minutes of quality, guided time to move towards 15K a month, knowing that you didn't choose this version of yourself, instead you kept on doing what you've been doing the last 2 months, and you're in the same place, what would that actually mean to you? Would that bother you?
Obviously, it'll bother me
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Okay, why?
And obviously, I'm wasting time. That's the main thing. I don't like to waste much time, and it's not feel good overall.
Yeah, 100%. And how did it affect your day-to-day life in terms of going into real estate?
Obviously, I couldn't go in real estate if that's the case. I'd be a bit stuck, still worrying about bills. That would be a huge part of it.
Okay. And still being in that place worrying about bills, how would that affect you mentally?
Hmm. And obviously, it would bring a lot of stress. I don't mind, but I am here to work towards it and ensure it doesn't end up happening.
Of course. I understand where you're coming from. We say you're here to work and ensure that doesn't happen. The reason why I'm asking you to visualize this is so that you understand what you're running away from. So if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going in this direction. Really, what does that look like in terms of worrying about bills, being being stressed overall?
It's not gonna be a good future, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me, because some people are happy with this.
I guess most people are not happy. I think it's just that they're settling. I don't think I'll settle.
When you say you don't think you'll settle, is that something that you're uncertain of, or do you know you're not going to settle?
No, I'm not gonna settle. Yeah.
Why not?
And who would want this? If you can
Some
get it, you
people,
should get it.
you'd be surprised, brother. Some people do settle. Some people do
Yeah,
want
I don't.
this. They're happy with it.
I just feel pretty miserable, and I think I feel enough pain to make a change. Like, even in the last 2 months, like in the last 1 month or so, I moved out. I
Mm,
was like, fuck it, gotta get over this.
okay, I understand. And in terms of in terms of not being able to give the time and energy to your parents, not being able to give them those experiences and enjoy the few years of their lives, new experiences, being able to travel, to know that you can't do that, how would that make you feel?
Mm, pretty terrible. Yeah, not good.
Why? Why is that?
I mean, isn't it obvious? Like everyone wants to do that, isn't it?
No, again, I wish that were the case, but no, not everybody does.
Obviously, I'd like to kind of, pay thanks to the people who raised me. Obviously, give back to them for all that I've done
Yeah,
for me. I think that's a huge part of what I do.
of course, I understand. And you did say that you want to have the time freedom as well to give to your kids, give your love to your
Hmm.
kids. To not actually be able to do that, what would that mean to you if you couldn't change those things?
I mean, I'd feel like a failure. I mean, I know I can do it. So if I'm not doing it, I'll be always in the back of my mind. But
Right. Are you willing to settle and let that happen?
nah,
No.
not at all.
Why not?
I mean, obviously, I know a path that can get me there. I know people who have done it. There are heaps of people in Ecom who have retired parents and done all that
Yeah.
good stuff.
Mm.
So just tell myself, why can't I? If someone can, it's me.
Why can't you?
No, I can't.
Absolutely.
I'm just looking to get there as fast as possible. That's the goal.
I understand. Well, Humam, when it comes to stepping into this new version of you, who can set aside 30 minutes of quality time and work with the correct framework and experts around him and move towards actually making that 15K a month to set himself up financially, be stable to raise children, and give these new experiences to his parents, give back. When would be the most appropriate time for you to step into this new identity of yourself?
Let's say as soon as possible, right now.
Okay. When you said as soon as possible right now, it sounds a little ambiguous. Which one would you rather do? Would you rather step into it right now or a week from now? As soon as possible.
No, right now, right now.
Right now. Why right now? Out of curiosity.
Obviously, it's no better time to make a change than the now. But to live in the present, I don't want to be dreaming too much or putting things off. I like to move fast. I like to get done with things as fast as possible. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, in terms of your dream and your vision, I know that we can help you and get you to where you want to be in terms of that 15K a month. Would you like me to run you through exactly how we can do that for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. There we go.
Okay.
How
All
do you
right.
find
That's
that?